Item 4, work sessions. A, food assistance update, Ms. Hill and Ms. Rogers.
Dr. Casey, thank you for this opportunity to provide you a SNAP update. These PowerPoint slides are really, I think yesterday they were updated because this has been a ever-changing landscape. So what we're sharing with you today is what we know as of today. I'm going to give a brief update on the SNAP program from a federal and regional perspective, and then we have our very own Kim Hill, who's the executive director for Chesterfield Food Bank Outreach Center, and Nick, who is, I won't say he's the executive director for .2, it's 2.0. Director of Outreach. Nick, they are a great team. They're going to share some updates on how we were able to serve the community together and collaboratively. What we know now is, as of this weekend, ahead of schedule, everyone who is eligible for SNAP and approved for SNAP for the month of November has received 100% of their allotment. This includes folks who were approved as of October 29th, which was the cutoff for VENA, and those who have been approved since then. Prior to after the 29th, no SNAP cases were available to be processed because of the federal shutdown, and they were ineligible to receive VENA. So as of now, everybody has received their full allotment. What I'm really excited about is that the continuing resolution does fully fund the SNAP program through September of 26. So in January, when there's still some uncertainty, the SNAP program will not be affected by that. Regarding the regional efforts, we were previously meeting 3 times a week because information was changing so rapidly to plan and work together to make sure that we were coordinating not only messaging but our emergency response. We have now scaled that back to monthly. And the reason why we're continuing to meet, although the assistance has been restored, is that there is about a 30-day recovery period just for missing the SNAP benefits. And so we're just going to continue to monitor the situation. If we see something that indicates to us that we need to reconvene sooner than December 3rd, we have the ability to do that. We were addressing the SNAP situation, but also some of the factors that were impacting need in the community were federal layoffs, increased expenses for food. So yes, the SNAP program is what brought us together, but there were other community factors that we're continuing to watch to make sure we meet the needs of the community. I would like to share that due to the overwhelming support, both with food drives and financial contributions regionally, FEMOR is not requesting additional assistance, monetary assistance from us at this point. So the community really rallied together, and our initial investment got us the results that Kim is going to share, but no additional money is being requested at this time due to the community really rallying around, as well as the governor's investment into the food bank system. We did have 3 emergency response agencies. I just want to highlight the last 2 points are really the weeks that the regional food distributions were in place, and it just highlights how we saw an increase during that time. We had 3 emergency response agencies that the food bank supported with the funding that we provided. Kim and her team at the food bank, they took those resources that they received and just were able to exponentially increase the capacity because they helped our schools, they helped other smaller food pantries in Chesterfield. They really did a great job as really being kind of like the parent or the coordinator of everything, where we convened them from social services. Kim and her team really took all of the other emergency response agencies under her wing and helped to support them with the logistics, because she's used to running an operation like this. I'll turn it over to Kim now to update on their work.
Hi, thank you for having us. First of all, I'd like to thank the Board of Supervisors, Dr. Casey, James, Kiva. You guys did a great job being proactive in this. It was a great help to all of us. It has allowed us to be able to shift gears motivate us to, and give us the resources we needed to be able to meet the need very quickly. And thank you, Kiva, for what you said. And Nick, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you. And, oh, you're already up there.
We're good. Thank you again for having us here today. I want to speak to a little bit of the layered pressures that our community can face during these times so we can have a proper understanding of what we're going through. Obviously, coming off of the government shutdown, we're very relieved to see those benefits being paid out to completion, which is amazing, but we recognize that there's a ripple effect, as you had mentioned, a 30-day at a minimum of what we're going to see as families who were impacted, individuals who are impacted, our neighbors who are impacted by this, trying to bounce back as they reallocated their own funding from paying a bill to having to buy groceries or, however they tried to manage through that time. As they're trying to build that back, not just to a place of, having their benefits, but really building back whatever, resources they had stored that were expended during that. We also reflect on the reality that we're coming into this holiday season, and that's an annual influx every year, even under the best circumstances, as our neighbors are stretched during these times. And it's not just about having enough food in the pantries, but really being able to restore dignity and hope in the lives of the residents here in Chesterfield County as we approach these holiday seasons. And then the winter expenses as we break into the new year and see, increases in heating, cooling costs, is just the cost of living overall really impacting that bottom line and how easy it is to manage the overhead of living expenses and keep food on the table. We also reflect on what we could be approaching in January with insurance premiums and as they may be impacted, and that's a certain amount of uncertainty, but it's also a reality that we have to prepare for, knowing that we're closing out the fourth quarter, which is our busiest time of year. The benefit delays, the higher cost of living, the holidays, the winter expenses, all this really comes together and creates a continued sense of need felt by our neighbors, the clients that come through our distribution lines week after week, or maybe it's just a person standing next to you in a store not knowing how they're going to get through the next few days. These are variables that we could easily overlook, but they definitely increase the amount of need that we do experience in a very real way. Ms. Hill?
Yes, thank you, Nick. How the Chesterfield Food Bank, we have been able to step up. We've added 5 new emergency distributions already to a busy distribution schedule. As you can see down in the green, we saw about a 60% increase so far. We don't know if that will continue. We'll see, especially with what Nick just described. Just with the added visits to the food bank, and we saw at our very first journey emergency distribution, about 331 families extra, and the 60% increase is across all programs. I don't know if you guys understand that Food on the Move is all our distributions, and then we have our other programs that are separate from that, emergency food, our home deliveries, the motel outreach, our seniors, all that is separate from Food on the Move. So what you're seeing right now is 60% across all programs. And we're very excited to be able to go ahead and start 6 more schools on the school pantry program to help meet the need and make sure that our kids have what they need, and also that we're able to send some food home to their families, and then hopefully get them the information on the extra resources they need, from the food bank, or just be able to take advantage of a partnership with them. So as you can see down at the bottom, the schools that are highlighted in purple are the schools that we're already in, and then the green or blue, however you see it, is the extra 6 schools we're going to be adding on. We're meeting with those principals this week to see if we could get those pantries going by December. And then we've been very proud to be able to collaborate through this with Feed More. Like I said, thank you for your investment in that, because the food has been coming in from Feed More that has allowed us to distribute and have these extra distributions. Chasm, we were proud to partner with them with their Thanksgiving giveaway, and also with the added pressures of people in our community that needed food. The Chasm Network, their churches, and those that helped them with their food distributions. If they couldn't handle it, they were going to send them to our programs. Definitely with social services. Thank you, Kiva. We've worked together great, and we always have. So
We're on speed dial.
that's right. We're on speed dial. Colonial Heights Food Banks, and definitely we had a great meeting with community and schools. And I am pleased to be able to announce that all our local community and schools are covered with either pantries or other ways of getting food, every single one. So we're glad to report on that. Other than that, thank you for having us, guys. And any questions?
Board members, any questions or comments?
I would like to add, Kim didn't mention it, but they also have a program for seniors that they've been working with community enhancement to fund additional services for seniors in the community. So they've been doing a lot to reach the underserved and also the special populations that we see with social services.
If I can just tag one last thing on, a silver lining, and we're definitely in the industry where we look for silver linings. What we have seen is this is a testimony of what can be accomplished when we partner together to meet the need of our community. So we do extend our gratitude to all of you.
Thank you.
So Kim, the bags that kids can take home from the schools, do those have, I think I heard you say, do they have information about your regular
They do.
distribution so
They
that they
do.
can sign up? That's awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing
Yes.
that, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick comment. Kiva and I talked about this. I serve on the National Association of Counties Human Services team board. And so when everything was unfolding with SNAP, I think it was daily. We were getting updates as to what's going on across the country. And what would invariably call, well, what would Kiva do? So it was like, what would Chesterfield do? So having you pop on and say, this is how we're handling it in Chesterfield, how helpful you were for the nation to be able to pull this together. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiva. Thank you, guys.